Hi everyone, welcome to the Subscribers to Sales channel. My name is Dawn and today we are going to go over 7 of the most common mistakes YouTubers make all the time. And I'm actually not just talking about the new tubers. So stick around to find out what all 7 mistakes are and what you should do instead. All right, so let's jump right into it. That would be number 1, which is not optimizing your thumbnails. So thumbnails are just as strong as titles. And why? Because it's literally the first thing people are going to see when they're deciding if they're going to click on your channel or your video or not. And so thumbnails are so important in making sure they are optimized to the best of its capabilities. And so what do I mean by optimized? So meaning like it's super high definition, there is elements that are relevant to your video. The color contrast is perfect. There's nothing too distracting in it. It's very clear. You could see it from really far away. It's not too busy. And so that's what I mean by thumbnails. And I could make an entire video about thumbnails, or one of us from Team Marissa Romero. And so yes, optimizing your thumbnails is crucial to have that first point of contact with potential new subscribers. All right, number 2, not having a routine for YouTube and a solid workflow. Now, I know that you're a business owner. I know that you're busy. You have other things to manage and take care of. But if you don't have an additional workflow specifically for YouTube, then your channel is gonna plummet and you're not gonna see the sales that you want to see. And so making sure you have a routine that is solid, A to Z, the team members on that task are doing their tasks for what you need day to day. And so what do I mean by that? Maybe every single Monday you make sure that's the day that you either script or film, and then you send it off to your editing team if you have one. If not, edit yourself. Use editing for about a couple days and then optimizing it, making it go live. So in every 5 days you have a new video, something like that. That's the idea. Having a solid workflow to make sure that your channel is pushing out consistent content always. Because again, and you've heard me say this a million times already before in other videos, which is consistency is actually the key to success. Like, it's wild. It's wild. Just do it. All right, number 3, not outsourcing, specifically for your editing. And so I know for myself that I could care less about editing, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that I know my skills, I know my patience, and I know that I cannot focus too hard on a computer with a screen before my brain will explode. That's just me, but I know that there's gonna be a few of you out there who are gonna feel the exact same way as me. And so it's okay to outsource. You don't have to do everything yourself. And I understand that that sounds like an expense. That sounds like something that is too much money to consider right now. However, not if you're on board with our editing team. And so crazy news, this is kind of like an announcement / news. Our own editing team, which is the S2S Studio, they edit all of our videos and a lot of our own members and their videos. This used to be only an exclusive thing. Like, we used to be like, hey, you can only be a member to get our editing services. However, now we're saying, hey, we just want to edit your videos. And it's actually an incredible, affordable price, especially compared to what you can see on Fiverr and Upwork. So if you are making YouTube videos and you want to take a huge burden off of your shoulders, which is called editing, then check out our studio. I'm gonna leave their link in our description so that you can check them out. Super affordable, they're incredible, super fast. I can like talk all day about them and how amazing they are, but check them out for yourselves. Again, first link in the description. All right, number 4, messing up the intro. Now, this happens all the time, and even to OG YouTubers. What I mean is that a lot of YouTubers in the first like 5 minutes sometimes are immediately saying all their calls to action. They're saying, hey, my name is so-and-so. This video is about so-and-so. But before we get into it, do this, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. I want you to like, I want you to subscribe. I want you to do all these things. Check out my new course, check out my new book. And then, especially to a new viewer to that channel, they're like, excuse me, Who are you and why do I need to do all these things for you? It's a turnoff. It's a huge turnoff. Like, it's a reciprocal relationship you have with your viewers. You should not be demanding them to do all these things for you up front when they don't even know who you are or what you have to offer them. And so be wary of that. Do not freak people out and turn people off by saying all these calls to actions at the beginning of your video. Usually you want to save it maybe in the middle or near the end, but do not, for the love of all things holy, make it for the beginning of the video. And just going off of that, making sure that your intro has all the key elements within the first minute. You don't want to ramble on about your day. I'm sorry, a lot of people don't care about your day unless you're doing a vlog. That's cool. But if you're saying like, hey, my name is Dawn and I just had a cup of coffee and oh my gosh, my dog needs to be out right now, and then I need to go, oh, let me tell you about this book I'm reading. Like, people don't care if they're watching my channel, which is all about English tips. People are not going to be caring about what kind of coffee I am drinking in the morning or if my dog needs to go out. So if you catch my drift here, you want to make sure it's a quick intro with a hook that will make people want to be like, okay, this is why I clicked on this video and this is why I want to watch it to the end. All right, number 5. This goes for a lot of YouTubers who do this thing called pigeon holing. And what I mean by that is that they have their niche, but then they find this one kind of video that's always doing well on their channel. And so they want to replicate that video over and over and over again because they know that it gave them views before. So they want to try to replicate that until they get more and more subscribers and views and whatnot. Now that can be okay, but there's always a limit to it. You're not going to want to do the same video over and over and over again because your viewers are going to be like, what the heck? I kind of want to see something different now. Or you're going to create this audience that's always expecting this one type of video from you. They want to see variety because that shows your personality more. You have more flexibility to be creative if you wanted to. And so making sure that you have your pillars set in stone. Usually we recommend having 2 or 3 pillars. Pillars are those like categories. And so making sure that you have enough variety in there and bounce around. It's okay to be creative. If that flumps, that's okay. But just know that you have the flexibility to have variety. Do not try to pigeonhole yourself into this one type of video and one type of personality because, again, it's going to make this big audience and then they're going to lose interest if you try to do something else. So no pigeonholing. All right, number 6. This one might come as a surprise for some of you, but that is mixing normal YouTube videos with a podcast. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck? I thought that was totally normal. People do that all the time. Well, yes and no. If you do that, if you're mixing your podcast with normal YouTube videos, it's actually going to stump your growth because the algorithm is going to be like, what are you, a podcast or are you a YouTube channel? And so it's actually going to stump your growth. If you are really fixated on having a podcast and having it on a YouTube channel, then have a separate channel for that. If you want to do normal YouTube content, keep that over here. Put your podcast stuff over here. They can be best friends, but in different channels. Number 7, so not using YouTube stories. And so this is a big oopsie that a lot of YouTubers don't do. They don't use it. And that is when you have about 10,000 subscribers, YouTube is going to tell you, hey, congratulations, you have access to YouTube stories. And so what are YouTube stories? They are basically the same as stories anywhere, like on Instagram, on Snapchat. It's the same idea. You have like an image and it disappears after a while. On YouTube, it actually disappears after 1 week. Now, why should you utilize them? Because stories don't just pop up to your current subscribers. They will pop up to potential subscribers as well. And in your little story, you can repurpose a short or a reel that you've already done, cut it up into like 15 seconds each so that if people are quickly flipping, then they can at least see a little bit more content and you kind of get that chance to be like, oh, what's that? And so making sure it's cut up and have your channel tagged in each story, because then if they like you, maybe they like you for different reasons. Maybe they're like, she has a cool voice, or whoa, I like that guy's hair. Whatever the thing is, if they're like, I want to know who this person is, then boom, if your channel is already tagged right there, they can click on it and discover you and maybe subscribe to you. And so make sure you use YouTube stories because, wow, you have no idea how many more subscribers you can get. We did this all the time on Marissa's old channel. So consider it. All right, so that is the end of our 7 mistakes for today. Trust me, there's so many more, but that will have to be for another video. But if you are interested in learning more, if you're a business owner and you're like, okay, I need to do a YouTube channel, but I already have so many other things I'm managing and that's just life and that's what it's like to be a business person. Well, check out this video next. It's all about how to make a YouTube channel successful with only 3 hours per week. All right, I will see you over there.